I wanted a dive computer with big data inputs and giant chunky buttons, and something with the ability to network with Gunner if I got another transmitter. So today we're gonna be unboxing the Garmin Descent X50i, Garmin's premium dive computer.
Let's go.
Okay guys, so if you saw my videos about the Apple Watch Ultra and diving with it, I didn't love it. And it made me realize that the MK3i was really small too. So it got me thinking that I wanted a dive computer with much larger data sets on it. Big readable numbers. It was super easy for me to read. So we got another transmitter, the Garmin Descent T2, so that I can put one on his. I'm gonna put one on mine. So I'll be able to track his air, his location, how deep you are, and
If I get lost,
what direction you're at. So we decided to go with the X50i. So today we're gonna unbox it for you. So let's dive in and see what's in this box. So just like most dive computers, comes with a nice hard shell carrying case. I'm gonna unzip this thing here.
unzip.
If you want to purchase any of the gear that we use on this channel, please consider buying through one of our links so that we can keep making these videos for you. We just partnered with Paragon Dive Store. I know the owner, Ben, personally. Him and his team are awesome, and when you purchase through their links, you're supporting real divers and not some giant corporation. They have all the gear you could ever want, as well as any training and certifications that you need.
Nice and big.
Yeah, so you've got the proprietary Garmin charger on this thing, just like the MK3i or most Garmin products. USB-C on the other end. It's gonna come with a tool and then a quick start guide. So I've set this thing up last night, but I'm gonna go ahead and peel the screen off of here. Gunner's already set up both tanks with both the transmitters on them, so we're gonna see exactly what that does. So you've got 4 controls on the bottom. You've got a giant screen here, light on the front. So the 4 controls on the bottom, this is your back and power button. This is your enter, and then you hold it down for torch, previous and next, right? So we're gonna hold it down to come on. I don't know, while it's booting up, if you guys haven't seen these yet, this thing has awesome straps on it. They're plenty long, so you can wear them with a dry suit or wetsuit or nothing. And once you get them set to your size, you just use the buckles so that you don't have to constantly reset them unless you're changing wetsuit sizes a bunch. So, all right, looks like that thing is up and running. I'm gonna clip these back real quick. All right, so before we dive into the settings on this and how to set it up, because I came from the MK3i and we now have 2 transmitters, and I have another Garmin computer, that means that
That one is mine.
this one is gonna get passed down to Gunner. So probably gonna be the only 13-year-old diving with a MK3i. So why don't you go ahead and strap up, man. What do you say?
Thanks.
Hey guys, if you're new here, here's something awesome. We hide real treasure underwater. We call it the hunt. If you find one of our coins, you win high-end dive gear from the brands that we trust. This thing is really picking up steam. We've landed some of the biggest brands in the industry and resorts all over the world. If you want early clue access or priority invites to our guided trip so that you can come on one of our coin hunts, sign up in the email list below. I'll shoot you an email. Okay, so Gunner's set up. He's got his Mark III on. Remember the buttons. This is back and power, previous, next, enter, and torch. So if you hold this one down, you're gonna get torch, nice and bright. How bright is it?
That's bright.
Yeah, and then if you'll see the torch setting, turn on the torch here, it actually has 4 settings. So high, low, and then strobe, and then SOS. Yeah, so super simple. You can go into your dive mode, dive setup, plan dive. So if you go to plan dive, you're gonna get some really cool instructions here. So you have compute your NDL, calculate gas, deco plans, and nearby dive sites. So if you go to nearby dive sites, you can actually just go all categories. It'll pull, the closest one to us is Balmorhea State Park, 123 miles away. If you select that one and go to it, you can literally view it on the map and go straight to it. Really cool feature.
Really cool.
Especially if you're on vacation, you don't really know where you're at, you wanna go hit some cool dive sites and you have transportation, be it a boat or maybe you're shore diving and you're just taking taxis or trucking it, hoofing it. We'll get out of there. Then you can go to dive setup, and this is gonna be your gases, dive network, and air integration, which we're gonna do in just a second whenever we hook it up to the computers. Set your conservatism, water type, salt or fresh. You can set your PO2, you can set all your scuba alerts. I like to run a 10-minute alert every 10 minutes. I like to just get reminded where I'm at, and then I have a 100-foot alarm as well. And then on that 10-minute alert, I try not to wait that long, but if I'm shooting video or something, or we're in the midst of diving, 10 minutes might actually go by and I didn't check my computer. So that's the point where I like to check my gas, ask you what yours is. So go back into dive setup here, water type, PO2, scuba alerts, display settings. So if you go to display settings, you can go into data screens here and you can literally change everything that you want to change on here. You can literally show whatever data you wanted. There's a ton of it, look it up. I've already configured this one the way I wanted it and added some different screens. But, so you've got your compass heading up here, but then you also have your big compass. Yeah, I got my big compass here, surface intervals here, but this is also where it will display your decompression stops or your safety stops. Really cool. It actually gives you like a visual representation, especially if you're diving deco, what that commitment would look like. You go up so far, how long you stay at that time, go up so far, how long you stay at that depth. But super simple, remember previous and next, so that's how you scroll through it, and then once you get to the bottom, it'll start right back over. But if you wanted to change the data fields, you just go right here to data fields, and then you can literally change these to whatever you want. Mine is time to surface and ATR, so that those are right there. If that one is ever less than that one, probably not a good thing.
Good sign.
So dive modes, you have single gas, you have multi, CCR, which this doesn't have the pin connector for you to hook it up directly to measure your O2, but if you needed to bail out, I guess you could do that. And then you have gauge mode. I am not sure what gauge mode is still, so I leave it set on single gas. This is cool though, dive log. You can see all the dives you've ever done if you were already in the Garmin ecosystem. This is your surface interval screen here, all the information that you'd ever want to have, and then you have your no fly time here. So this one is now updated with weather and tides. When you get it, it might not have this on there. Make sure you do the update on it. Once you get it updated, you go in here to weather. Here, show them, Gunner. Go in there to weather and tides. So click on now 69 degrees. So it'll show you your weather, your current weather, and then it also swipe it over. It has hourly, and then if you hit the bottom there, it'll pull up your daily, and it'll give you looks like a 5-day forecast or week. So today is Tuesday, and it runs all the way through Saturday. So go ahead and hit back, get out of there. So go to dive, go to start dive. Right whenever you go in here to your dive mode, before you confirm, you have the ability to change any of your settings right here. So if you wanted to do your air, you could change your air to nitrox or whatever, go back. Then you've got your PO2, conservatism. You could just right there change from salt to fresh, and then safety stop. There you go, safety stop. It's just single tap. It goes from 3 to 5 minutes or off, and then go ahead and hit confirm. So you're gonna dive. So now you're diving. Why don't you pull up the compass? Go to your compass. So we're gonna set a heading now, and you're gonna do that by hitting the 2 far right buttons at the same time. So once you enter dive mode, this is no longer touchscreen. So to go forward, you use the middle right button. To go back, you use the middle left button. To exit this screen, you would hit this one, and to enter, you hit this one. So go ahead and set your heading by hitting enter. There you go. So you've set a heading. So now start to turn it. There you go. So the heading is set, and you can see he's getting off track. So now that Gunner's got a heading set, he's gonna show you how to set a reciprocal heading. So go ahead and hit the far 2 right buttons, and then go down to compass, hit enter, and then go down to set recip. That's reciprocal heading, hit enter, and then scroll through your menu again, your data fields again. There you go. So now it's set a reciprocal heading, so you can see. All right, so go back and go to the main screen again. So you can see once you set a heading, it also shows on the top of your main screen as well. So pretty cool. Let me take over for a minute here, Gunner. If you look at this second screen that I have set up here, it says no transmitters connected. So I think that's what we're gonna do next, is set up the transmitters, okay? So I'm gonna back out of the dive. We're gonna go to dive setup, dive network, transmitters, add your tank. Okay, so it pulled it up, 11418. I'm assuming that is my tank, so I'm gonna tap on it. Confirm the ID to take this as your transmitter. So if y'all are wondering how to do this, it's gonna ask you to confirm the ID. There's a QR code on here. If you look right underneath that QR code, 11418. So we're gonna go ahead and enter that in there, and it's just touchscreen, or you can use your buttons. I like this one because it's got these big chunky buttons on it. So 1141, it says it's completed. So let's go back to the main screen. So this is about the subwave communication. It says that it may take up to 45 seconds. I don't know that sending a text message, like, I know I was looking at some of the text messages. One of them was, "Are you okay?"
I'm okay.
But like you would have to go through menu settings and hit "Are you okay?" and then wait 45 seconds.
But you can just do that instead.
What's up? Are you include this tank in gas consumption rate calculations? Absolutely. All right, guys. So it got a little bit late. We lost Gunner on this one. He had to go to bed. I wanted to show you what you do after you get your transmitters set up and kind of how to set them up after you update the software or the firmware. So if you go into Dive Setup right here, you can see Dive Network and Air Integrations. You'll go to Transmitters, and then here they are. You can add a new one. I've already pinned ours, so you see mine and then Gunner's. And then to change the name, you'll go to Public Tank Name. Don't name that My Tank, because that's what it's going to show up as on whoever else is looking at your transmitter on their computer. So just to save any confusion, save it as your name or your nickname or your dive name. But after you do that, whenever you go into a dive, you start a dive, you go next, confirm. Now, most of the time these would read our tank pressures, but because I don't have the transmitter set up anymore or turned on the tank anymore, it's not going to show that here, but you can see that here, and it's going to show it on this screen as well. And then this is where it would show your buddy's depth and what direction they were at as well. If you want to send the messages through the subwave technology, you would go, you're diving, here you are, you're going to hold down the middle right button, and it's going to go to all messages. No messages right now, but you would hit compose message, and then you can scan through them here, and then I would just say, are you okay? That's it. That's all you got to do. So guys, stay tuned to the channel, because next up I'm going to have a full review coming on this. I've already dove with it some. I think it's a great computer. I'm going to break it all down in that next video. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one. The hunt is on.